maybe one every 5 years, maybe one every 10 years. That's why this book that you guys are creating is going to help you through all that. At Children's Hospital, they will do 2 or 3 of these a day. Okay?
Yeah, I was going to ask, I've seen like, well, not a lot of babies, but mostly in babies, like,
Yep.
have like
Most of the time this is done in babies, and they have pediatric and adolescent Spica tables. This is an actual adult Spica table. Next semester, when we get to hips and that kind of thing, we'll actually do like little babies. Not real babies, we have a bunch of little babies back there that will, you guys will be able to simulate the best that you can. You won't, but this is actually a good way of doing this. Doing it on an adult first, although it is very rare that you will actually do one on an adult. Most of the time when you do this, you will do this for a femur fracture. You can do it for femoral osteotomies, which is probably the more common. I put people with dislocated hips, chronic dislocators, after maybe multiple revisions of a total hip. We'll actually put them in a hip spica as well. So you can put a number of different reasons why you would put somebody in a hip spica. So go ahead and lay down. I know it doesn't seem like very.
What's neutral again?
Hips flexed and abducted. Now, obviously, the patient would be butt naked. The other thing. Go ahead and lay down.
That sucks.
Way up in there. There you go.
With your feet in stirrups.
Put up in there. There you go.
Scooch down just a little bit.
Every doctor.
Yeah. It's okay. Spread your knees.
You're getting a new nickname.
On his body, I won't do it on the legs either, but you would obviously start off with a stockinette. The stockinette, I would cut it in a way to make it look like a tank top, where his arms would come through it. Make sense? It would look like a wife beater almost. Yeah, I'll do. You do full leg, I'll do half. I'll do body too. You don't need that. The other thing you kind of need whenever you do this is you need them to have the ability to breathe. The proximal parameter is nipple line. So I've actually stuffed this slightly down the cast, so when the cast is dry, I pull it out, and it gives him a little bit more room for his diaphragm to expand and contract. Put your arms on your head, sir. There you go. Get used to that. You're going to be there for a little while.
So I can move my arms up.
You'll be able to, yeah.
Same thing with the web bowl?
I'm sorry?
Same like 50.
Yep.
Get that phone that thing on. Don't be shy. You just act as a Raiders, beat the Chargers. Hey, I call that the Charger pole right there.
Are you really gonna piss them off in this position?
This is a bad time to make jokes.
Yeah, you don't really want to make jokes on this one. Remember where we have to cut out to show how to use the restroom and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Although for some reason the girls really like that part.
Every year we pick a guy to do this on.
Mike's waiting for us to get a girl.
Every year.
How thick is the layers of Weberl? How thick is the layers of Weberl? You kind of want 3 layers everywhere. In certain areas, you're going to roll a little extra. The biggest problem with this cast is going to be what we call intern's triangle, which is exactly where the butt and the body portion of this cast meet. Forms a little triangle. This right here becomes rigid, but down in here, this little triangle area on the buttocks is always the weak point of the cast. So you really want to, whenever you're doing fiberglass or plaster, whatever you're rolling, you want to make sure that you get all of that. Notice I'm actually covering everything, perineal post and all of it, because it's all going to come off with him. Areas that must be padded a little extra, ASIS. So what we do is we cut some foam out, and we will stick it there. Also, an area that needs a little extra love is the actual spine itself. Now, once I stick this, you guys are not going to be able to use it. So for the next group of people, you're not going to have this ability. I actually cut them in a kidney shape.
You gotta stretch it out like that.
Yep. And then right down the spine, all the way to the sacrum. And then also pubic symphysis. I'll guess where that's at.
The middle one.
In class, for what you guys need to do, again, you'll probably be 2 or 3 of you rolling. You'll have one person dipping and one person being the patient. So that's like 5 of you right there. Look.
That was right there.
You guys, I would hope somebody would, you're going to dip. So you just want to keep rolls coming.
I don't do that. The hospital stays. Called fan folding. You guys learn it later. Just one big fan. I got what I need up here without having too much down there. If I was trying to go here and here and there, that would
Take
be a
another
big
5-inch
problem.
roll.
Right down there, popped out. Roll me. Roll me, baby.
Another 5-inch roll. Come on. Hurry it up. All you gotta do is open the package.
And dunk it.
rolls that little thing inside the roll.
No, you don't like the 3M?
I don't like it. No. Just that little thing inside the cone.
I'll take a 4-inch roll now. Let's cut that. I
You
don't
guys still
know
use the
what
bar
that's-
with the half?
Yes. We did this faster than you guys do a long arm pass. I'm done. You got one more? I'll take one more. I'll give him the 4, I'll take the 5. I rolled everything in, man.
Someone else is mad at it.
Same way we cut all class out. Another ace round. Still not even completely hard yet.
Oh, why are you using that?
Gives a good ASIS mold. Cubic synthesis mold. And then you're also supposed to keep a nice mold on the back, on the spine.
Phil,
Constrictive.
that stuff was more than the.
More constrictive as far as breathing wise. That's when we get this out, that'll help a little bit. One more roll. We still got plenty of time.
It feels like those breathable things, the recyclers as well.
Yeah. You can feel the heat coming off of them. Not unusual. Let me get this to roll these people, especially if it's for a femur fracture on a kid or something, to keep really flex the hips up to 90 degrees and also the knees at 90. They call that 90-90. There's a whole traction devoted to that. Would not be unusual to have to roll this cast in that position
Why would you roll in that position versus
to
this
hold
one?
the reduction. But your typical is slightly flexed and abducted.
How much touch are you gonna get from me?
actually, when you cut this part out, you want to cut out the minimal as possible. What's too much? Errors that you can create is cutting out too much around the butt. They get what they call butt fallout. If the butt is actually pulling out of the hole in the back, you've caused a problem. It has to be redone. What are your parameters? Top of the butt crack. That's as high as you want to go with it. Okay? Obviously, his little thingy's got to come out the front. You know? And other than that, you don't want much more room. You really, really don't. The next parameter is going to be up here.
You do that when they're butt naked, Ari?
Yeah. How am I going to get her shorts off now?
Sounds fun.
This has to be above his umbilicus. You don't want it down below the umbilicus. I'm way above it. Now that I have it all trimmed up and I'm happy, I place a bar on there. Where'd our bar go? We will not do this to him because this is coming right off. But the bar actually makes it a lot stronger. Okay? The way you position the bar is actually pretty critical. You're actually going to position from ankle to knee. So slightly above the ankle to slightly above the knee or vice versa. Also, him being a boy, it goes on the bottom. If you're a girl, on the top. Make sense? Why?
To go to the bathroom.
Because the guy will piss all over this bar. He has a harder time doing it from down there. Okay? How do you incorporate this? Fiberglass. Yep. You create a bed of fiberglass, which is you just roll once or twice around each area, stick it on there, and then incorporate the post and wrap the whole post all the way in. Make sense?
How long are these? It's just like the
They can be dowels, they can be canes. You know, you can use a bunch of different things, but it's got to obviously be wood. But I would trim this to you.
Okay.
And I would trim it off right here. And I would incorporate that in. Some moms with kids use this to pick up the child. It's not really favorable. Some problems that you will see with this cast, especially with kids, is they develop sores right here along the back. Why would they develop that? It's actually how they're laying in bed. You want to actually support the cast below here. You want to actually support it, lift it up a little bit. So when they're laying around all the time, a couple pillows underneath the legs, it helps ease some of that tension. He can tell you right now, if there's weight, he feels tension on his back right there. And then that relaxes it. Okay, also right here. Anything sticking out of the cast. Feet, too. This will eventually cause them problems. That's why a lot of times they end up putting the foot in. Okay?
Could you remedy that with like a posterior split or something like that? Or would you want?
Yeah, I don't know. They just put it in. Just put the foot in. Any questions? You guys all got this, right? One of the prep things that you saw me doing, which I didn't talk about, was I actually padded the post. With web roll.